Grief, memory, and the search for belonging. These are the raw truths at the heart of Kristin Scott Thomas's directorial debut, My Mother's Wedding. But here's where it gets personal. This isn't just another family drama. It's a story drawn directly from Scott Thomas's own life, and she's not afraid to admit it. At 65, the acclaimed British actress has stepped behind the camera for the first time. Co-writing and starring in a film inspired by her childhood growing up in a single-parent home. In a candid conversation with Today.com, Scott Thomas reveals that while she took creative liberties with the script, there's one aspect that's entirely authentic. The memories carried by Scarlett Johansson's character, Catherine. "Those are my memories exactly as I remember them," Scott Thomas shares. "That was the seed for the whole film. I wanted to show my family what I remembered about our fathers." The film follows Catherine and her sisters, Victoria, played by Sienna Miller, and Georgina, Emily Beecham, as they gather to celebrate their mother, Diana's, Scott Thomas, third wedding. Their mother has already lost 2 husbands, both the girls' fathers, when they were young. Now the sisters must navigate their own grief while learning to accept a new stepfather and a new chapter in their mother's life. And this is the part most people miss. Scott Thomas's real life was even more tragic. She was the eldest of 5 children, and both her biological father and stepfather, Navy pilots, died in separate crashes when she was just 5 and 11 years old. In a Vogue interview, she reflects on how these losses shaped her, admitting that it took decades to process the pain. "I think I was only able to make this film now because I finally come out the other side," she says. It takes a long time, especially if you don't face these things as a child. Back in the 60s and 70s, we didn't have the understanding of mental health that we do today. Scott Thomas also opens up about how isolating her grief felt as a child. "I thought I was the only one," she confides. But during the making of the film, she was surprised by how many crew members shared similar stories of loss. "It was amazing to hear how many people had lost a parent or sibling. It made me realize this experience is more common than I thought." Here's a controversial twist. While the film draws heavily from her own memories, Scott Thomas insists that her character, Diana, isn't a direct portrayal of her real mother. "I played the mom I wish I could be, the idealized version," she explains. "It was actually fun to invent a family that was chaotic, intimate, sometimes argumentative, but always loving." Interestingly, she didn't ask Scarlett Johansson to model Catherine after herself, either. "The memories are mine, but the rest went up to them," she says, giving her cast the freedom to interpret their roles. So, what do you think? Is it possible to truly separate fact from fiction when telling your own story? Or does every retelling become a blend of memory and imagination? Some might argue that Scott Thomas's approach is too idealized, while others may see it as a necessary act of healing. Where do you stand? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe in the power of storytelling to process grief? Or do you think it risks rewriting the truth?